Let me guess. On a demo account, you're untouchable, right? A trading prodigy. You're calm, calculated, and somehow, always profitable. You see the market like Neo sees the Matrix, and you execute your strategy perfectly. But the second you pay that challenge fee, poof, it all vanishes. It's like your logical brain gets shoved in a closet, and some anxious, revenge trading gambler takes the wheel and blows the account in a week. If that sounds familiar, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not a bad trader. You're a human whose brain is playing tricks on you under pressure. This isn't about your strategy failing, it's about your psychology getting hijacked. The jump from a zero-risk demo account to a high-stakes prop firm challenge triggers a very real, very predictable brain flip. Your brain literally hands control over from its smart, rational planning center, the prefrontal cortex, to its panicked, impulsive, fight-or-flight center, the amygdala. That trading genius you are on demo is still in there, but they've been gagged and bound by a primal instinct that sees the daily drawdown limit as a saber-toothed tiger. Today, we're going to dissect the 3 biggest psychological hijacks that are killing your prop firm dreams and give you the keys to taking back control when it really counts. The first and most common mental trap is the outcome bias trap. On a demo account, you have one job: follow your process. You take a setup because it meets your criteria. The outcome is just whatever, because it's monopoly money. But the moment a prop firm challenge starts, the goalposts move. Suddenly, it's not about executing your plan, it's about smashing that 8% or 10% profit target. Your entire focus shrinks down to just the outcome. This obsession with the profit target is pure poison for your performance. Why? Because it makes you abandon the very process that made you successful to begin with. Every single trade stops being just a trade, it becomes a mini referendum on whether you're going to pass or fail. You start seeing setups that aren't really there because you feel like you need to make something happen. You'll cut your winners at the first sign of trouble, terrified of giving back a single dollar that could get you closer to the target. And you'll hold on to losers for way too long, because taking a loss feels like you're taking a step backward from your goal. Here's the secret. The prop firm isn't really testing your ability to hit a target. It's testing your ability to stick to a profitable system when the pressure is on. The target is just a byproduct of good trading, not the goal itself. The overwhelming majority of traders who fail, and industry stats say that's over 90%, don't fail because their strategy sucks. They fail because they let the outcome drive their decisions. So, how do we fix this? You have to systematically, almost forcefully, detach from the outcome. The best way to do this is with a process-based checklist. Before you even think about entering a trade, you must be able to check off a list of your own non-negotiable rules. For example, does this setup meet all my technical criteria? Is my risk locked in at 1% or less? Am I trading inside my designated session? Then, after the trade, you don't grade yourself on whether it was a win or a loss. You grade yourself on how well you followed your plan. A trade where you followed every rule but took a small, managed loss is an A-plus trade. A trade where you broke your rules but got lucky with a win. That's a catastrophic failure, even if your account went up. By shifting your focus from your P&L to your execution, you starve the anxiety of its power. You're no longer chasing a target, you're just executing a plan, exactly like you did on demo. The second psychological hijacker is the loss aversion spiral, and this is the graveyard where most accounts go to die. As humans, we're hardwired to feel the pain of a loss about twice as intensely as the pleasure of an equal gain. In day-to-day life, this keeps us from making the same mistake twice. In trading, it's a complete disaster. In a prop firm challenge, this instinct gets cranked up to 11 by the daily drawdown limit. That 5% daily loss limit isn't just a number on a screen, it's a psychological landmine. The fear of hitting it makes you timid. You see a perfect A-plus setup, the kind you take in a heartbeat on demo, but you hesitate, worried about taking that first loss of the day. The market rips without you, and now you're just frustrated. You feel like you're falling behind, so you force a half-baked, B grade setup out of pure FOMO. That one, of course, turns into a small loss. And now the spiral begins. The sting of that loss, plus the pressure of the ticking clock, triggers an animalistic need to make it back. This is revenge trading, and it has nothing to do with logic. It's an emotional, amygdala-fueled impulse to erase the pain. You up your risk, you ignore your rules, and you jump into another bad trade. Before you know it, one small, acceptable loss has snowballed into a series of impulsive blunders that either push you right up against your daily limit or blow through it completely. The solution isn't to just be more disciplined. That's as useless as telling someone having a panic attack to just calm down. You need a pre-planned, mechanical system that yanks you out of the emotional spiral. This is your circuit breaker routine. The moment you close a trade for a loss, any loss, big or small, your circuit breaker protocol has to kick in. No debate. No negotiation. Your routine could be as simple as this. First, stand up and walk away from your desk for 15 minutes. No exceptions. This creates physical and mental space from the trigger. Second, during this break, do something that has absolutely nothing to do with trading. Chug a glass of water, do some push-ups, look out a window. The goal is to let the cortisol levels in your brain drop. Third, when you come back, your first job is not to hunt for another trade. It's to open your journal and analyze the loss against your plan. Was it a good trade that just didn't work, or did you mess up? This routine is critical because it achieves two things. First, it slams the brakes on emotional momentum, preventing one bad trade from infecting the next one. Second, it reinforces the idea that losses are just business expenses and data points, not personal attacks. By systematizing your response to a loss, you stop the loss aversion spiral before it can even start. This last hijack is the sneakiest but also the most destructive, attaching your self-worth to the outcome of your challenge. This is the me versus the market identity. You stop seeing the challenge as a simple performance review and start seeing it as a test of your intelligence, your skill, and your value as a human being. When you're trapped in this mindset, every tick in your favor is instant validation. See, I'm a genius, and every tick against you feels like a personal insult. I'm such a failure. The market isn't personal, but it sure feels like it. You're no longer trading your plan, you're trying to prove you're right. You're fighting the market, trying to bend it to your will, and that is a fight you will lose 100% of the time. This ego-driven state is exactly why so many traders pass phase 1 of a challenge only to spectacularly fail phase 2. They get through the first phase, their ego gets inflated, and they walk into phase 2 feeling invincible. They start taking bigger risks, feeling like they can't lose, and then the market quickly and painfully humbles them. Their skills didn't disappear, their ego just took over the driver's seat. The solution is to completely reframe your relationship with the challenge. You have to stop being the gladiator in the arena and start being the scientific experimenter in the lab coat. You are not here to prove you are worthy. You are here to collect data. Your experiment has one simple question. Can I execute my proven strategy consistently under a specific set of rules and pressures? Your trading plan is the hypothesis. Each trade is a data point. The challenge rules are just the parameters of the experiment. Wins and losses are neutral data. That's it. A loss isn't a failure, it's just data telling you what happened when you executed your edge. A win isn't a success, it's data confirming your edge. When you truly see yourself as a scientist just collecting information, the emotional weight of the challenge evaporates. You become detached, objective, and analytical, the exact state of mind you have when you're crushing it on a demo account. The outcome doesn't define you, it just gives you information for your next experiment. This is the mindset shift that separates the emotional roller coaster traders from the consistently funded professionals. So, let's put a bow on this. The reason you're a king on a demo account and a mess in a prop firm challenge has almost nothing to do with your strategy. It's all about these 3 psychological hijackers. First, the outcome bias trap, where you obsess over the profit target instead of the process. You beat this with a process-based checklist. Second, the loss aversion spiral, where one small loss snowballs into account-ending revenge trades. You stop this with a mandatory circuit breaker routine. Third, the me versus the market identity, where you tie your ego to your P&L. You fix this by becoming a scientific experimenter. Passing a prop firm challenge isn't a measure of your worth as a trader, it's a test of your discipline and self-awareness. All those failed challenges are not failures. They are expensive, but incredibly valuable, tuition in the school of trading psychology. Learn the lessons, implement these systems, and master your mind. Once you do that, the funding will take care of itself.